All of you, good morning. Today class is taken Heat Power Engineering. Subject name is Heat Power Engineering. Subject code C18M 402C. DME second year 4th semester. Duration time is 50 minutes. Unit name is Chapter 3 Steam Boilers. Chapter name is Chapter is 3 Steam Boilers. We have discussed today class in steam boilers. In the previous class we have learned about feature of modern high pressure boiler, advantages and disadvantages modern high pressure boiler, advantages and disadvantages of modern high pressure boiler, law mount boiler. In previous class we have discussed about this topic, features of modern high pressure boiler and advantages and disadvantages of modern high pressure boiler, law mount boiler. On completion of this period you would be able to know about, we have discussed in today class, pressure gauge, water level indicator, pressure gauge, water level indicator, safety valve, pressure gauge, water level indicator, safety valve, fusible plug, feed check valve, blow off cock, stop valve. This topic we have discussed in today class. Pressure gauge, on completion of this period you would be able to know about in today class we discuss about this topic, pressure gauge, water level indicator, safety valve, fusible plug, feed check valve, blow off cock, stop valve. This topic we have discussed in today class. Introduction. For proper control of steam generation and safety of the boiler, for proper control of steam generation and safety of the boiler, every boiler must be equipped with some fitting known as boiler mounting. Every boiler must be equipped with some fitting known as boiler mounting. As such fitting are directly mounted on the boiler itself. These are called as boiler mounting. As such fitting are directly mounted on the boiler itself. Directly fit or mounted on the boiler itself. These are called as boiler mounting. This is it. What happens if there are no mounting on the boiler? What happens if there are no mounting on the boilers? Steam cannot be generated. Steam cannot be generated. Steam supply from the boiler cannot be controlled. Steam supply from the boiler cannot be controlled. Cannot work safely on the boiler. Cannot work safely on the boiler. These are no mounting on the boiler. This steam cannot be generated. Steam supply from the boiler cannot be controlled. Cannot work safely on the boiler. Pressure gauge. First one today we discuss in pressure gauge. Pressure gauge function indicates steam pressure in the steam space of the boiler mounted on the top of the boiler cell. Pressure gauge indicates steam pressure in the steam space of the boiler mounted on the top of the boiler cell. As a spring with elliptical cross section. Spring is a elliptical cross section is therein boiler, pressure gauge boiler. Pressure gauge as a spring with elliptical cross section, made of high quality phosphor bronze, one end closed and attached to the quadrant. One end closed and attached to quadrant. Quadrant is in mesh with spindle. Quadrant is in mesh with spindle. The end of the tube is open. The end of the tube is open to the steam space of the boiler. The end of the tube is open to the steam space of the boiler. Burden tube pressure gauge. This is a burden tube pressure gauge. Pressure gauge. Burden tube pressure gauge. As shown in this figure, pointer, quadrant, dial, pinion, elliptical tubes, closed end of tube, lever, burden tube pressure gauge. This component is there. This way, this burden tube may be pressure may be to this as a spring with elliptical cross section, made of high quality phosphor bronze, one end closed and attached to the quadrant. Quadrant is in mesh with spindle. The end of the tube is in open to the steam space of the boiler. Pressure gauge. Quadrant is in mesh with spindle. Elliptical section becomes circular when steam enter. An elliptical section becomes circular when steam is entered in this section. The moment is communicated to pointer. This moment is communicated to pointer. Pressure is indicated on the dial, which is pre-calibrated. Pressure is indicated on the dial, which is pre-calibrated. Reading of this gauge is above atmospheric pressure. Reading of this gauge is above atmospheric pressure. This is
gauge. Burden tube pressure gauges are used for the pressure measurement of relative pressure from 0.6 bar to 7,000 bars. They are classified as mechanical pressure measuring instruments and thus operate with burden tube pressure gauge. Burden tube pressure gauges are used for the pressure measurement of relative pressure from 0.6 bar to 7,000 bars. They are classified as mechanical pressure measuring instruments and thus operate without any electric power. This video will cover the followings. 1. Working principle of burden tube pressure gauge. 2. Construction. 3. Working. 4. Advantages and disadvantages. If you are new to ADTW, click on the subscribe button below and turn on the notification to get all the updates from our channel. Working principle of burden tube pressure gauge. When an elastic transducer, such as burden tube in this case, is subjected to a pressure, it deflects. This deflection is proportional to the applied pressure when calibrated. Construction. A C-type burden tube consists of a long thin-walled cylinder of non-circular cross-section, which is sealed at one end. This tube is made from materials such as phosphor bronze, steel, and beryllium copper, and attached by a light mechanism which operates the pointer. The other end of the tube is fixed and is open for the application of the pressure, which is to be measured. The tube is soldered or welded to a socket at the base, through which the fluid, whose pressure is to be measured, enters the C-type burden tube. Working of burden tube pressure gauge. As the fluid under pressure enters the burden tube, it tries to change the cross-section of the tube from oval to circular, and this tends to straighten out the tube. The tip of the burden tube is connected to a segmental lever through an adjustable link. The segmental lever end on the segment side is provided with a rack which meshes to a suitable pinion mounted on a spindle. The segmental lever is suitably pivoted and the spindle holds the pointer. The resulting movement of the free end of the tube causes the pointer to move over the scale. In real-life application, the pressure gauges are mounted with siphon tube. Siphon tube is a simple device used to protect a pressure sensor from high-temperature media, such as steam. It can also be used to reduce the potentially damaging effects of rapid pressure changes. When first installed, the siphon should be filled with water or some other suitable separating medium. This medium continuously remains in contact with the Burden tube. Burden tubes are generally made in three shapes: C-type, helical type, and spiral type. Advantages of Burden tube pressure gauges. 1. These Burden tube pressure gauges give accurate results. 2. The cost of Burden tube pressure gauges is low. 3. Burden tube are simple in construction. 4. They can be modified to give electrical outputs. 5. They are safe even for high pressure measurement. 6. Accuracy is high, especially at high pressures. Disadvantages of Burden tube pressure gauges. 1. They respond slowly to changes in pressure. 2. They are subjected to hysteresis. 3. They are sensitive to shocks and vibrations. 4. Amplification is a must, as the displacement of the free end of the Burden tube is low. 5. It cannot be used for precision measurement. If you want more in-depth videos like
Next, the Burden tube pressure gauge is complete, and next is water level indicator. Water level indicator as shown in this figure, it is a safety device. Water level indicator is a safety device to indicate water level inside the boiler. This water level indicator is useful to indicate water level inside the boiler. Generally, two indicators are fitted on a boiler. Generally, two indicators are fitted on a boiler. In boiler, two indicators are fitted on a boiler. Features: has two horizontal tubes. Has two horizontal tubes in water level indicator. Bottom one is connected to the water in the boiler. Bottom end is connected to the water in the boiler. Top is connected to the steam in the steam space. Top is connected to the steam in the steam space. Cocks control the passage between boiler and tubes. Cocks control the passage between boiler and tubes. This is a water level indicator as shown in this figure. Ball in steam passage, steam cock, glass tube, metal tube. Two tubes is there, glass tube. Another one is glass tube. One is glass tube, another one is metal tubes. Steam cock, steam space, water cock, water space, drain cock, ball in water passage, ball in water passage. These are components there in water level indicator as shown in this figure. Water level indicators working principles. Cocks are in vertical position. Cocks are in vertical position. Water flows into glass tube. Water is flows into the glass tube. Stands at the same level as in the boiler. Stand at the same level as in the boiler. Two balls are in rest in working. Two balls are in rest in working. Balls prevent escape of water and steam when glass tube is broken. Balls prevent escape of water and steam when glass tube is broken. This is water level indicator. Working principles: cocks are in vertical position. Water flows into glass tube. Stands at the same level as in the boiler. Two balls are in rest in working. Balls prevent escape of water and steam when glass tube is broken. As shown in this figure, water level indicator as shown in this.
first we go through the function. Here you see the schematic diagram of water level indicators that we understand during the construction. So first function of a water level indicator is indicate the water level inside the boiler vessel, and it is show level of water in a boiler drum. So its name suggests that it measures the level of water inside the boiler vessel or a boiler drum. If water level inside the boiler is going down, then there is a possibility of blasting of boiler. That wise these water level indicators are important mountings of a boiler. So now we understand the construction of water level indicators. Before that, I request to like the video and subscribe the boiler cell. There is some water space, and above this water there is a steam space. Okay. So this water level indicator is used to measure the water level. So for that we are required one glass tubes, and here the different another component is that we understand. It consists of 3 cork and a glass tubes. First cork is the steam cork, another is the water cork, and third one is the drain cork. And this is the glass tube. And glass tube has a support of stuffing box. And here 2 ball valve is used. This is used for specially for when the glass tube is damaged. At that time this ball valve is used. Okay. So that we understand during this working. The steam cork keeps the glass tube in connections with the steam space. So here you see is the steam cork. When we open the steam cork, what happens? The steam from this part is supplied into this glass tube. Okay, so this is the function of steam cork. When this steam cork is off, the steam is not supplied to this glass tube. Okay. Second is water cork put the glass tube in connections with the water in the boiler. So this water cork is connect or disconnect the water space inside the boiler cell to this glass tube. Okay, and steam cork is connect or disconnect the glass tube with the steam space. Another is the drain cork. So drain cork is used to drain out the water from a glass tube at an interval. Means this drain cork is remove the water for a glass tube at the fixed interval to ensure that the steam and glass cork are clear in operation. Means they are clearly indicate the level of water in a glass tube. That's why the drain cork is used. Next point is the glass tube is protected by means of cover and made of specially tough glass. So this glass tube have also providing cover because it's not the damage. Okay, and it is made from specially tough glass. So they are not easily breakable. Next, we understand the workings of water level indicators. When the steam cork and water cork are open, means recently this is indicate the closed position. But when we open this steam cork and water cork together, then what happens? The steam from a steam space is supplied in a glass tube, and water from a water space is supplied in a glass tube. Okay, so you are also able to written like as the supply of a steam space. Okay, or supply is open from a steam cork. Here it is written as the rushes from upper passage. So this is the same meaning. Okay, and the water is rushed from a lower passage to the glass tube. Next point, these will indicate the level of water in the boiler. So when we open these 2 valves, at that time this glass tube indicates the proper level of the water that is present inside the boiler cell. Okay, so here you see that it is the water level is that, and in glass tube, so it is indicate the same level. 2 balls are placed at the junction of metal tubes. Okay, here that is a you see that is a one metal tube. In this junction of this metal tube, here 2 valves is provided. Okay, that is known as the ball valve. Okay, so why it is used at this study, and it is an interesting part. Under the normal operating condition, the valves are kept as shown in the figure in red color circle. So here 2 red color circle are coming. Okay, So these are the normal positions of this ball when the water level indicators are work normally. Okay, and this is a 200 position. This is happen when something is done. So this glass tube is broken. Okay, in a case glass tube is broken due to some reasons. At that time, what happen? Steam will be rushed from the upper passage and water from the lower passage. Means glass tube is broken, then what happen? The flow of the steam is continuous because steam cock and the water cock is open and the water is also going to the waste. If the glass tube is broken, then what happen? The difference between the boiler pressures and atmospheric pressure means water is leakage if the glass tube is broken because the here atmospheric pressure and here the pressure is higher. So everything is passed from a high pressure to low pressure. So when the glass tube is broken at that time, the ball are carry along the passage to the end of the glass tube and close the passage. Means this ball is moved with the water and this ball is moved with the steam and it reach up to this end of the glass tube means here or either at this point. Okay, so that is indicated by this blue color. So when the glass tube is damaged, this ball is moved and close the glass tube. Then the steam and water are not going into the waste. So these position of the ball are shown in this figure by the blue color when the glass tube is damaged. And the red color ball are indicate that it is in normal positions. Thus the flow of the water and steam out of the boiler is prevented by using this ball valve. This is the working of water level indicator. Thank you for watching.
Water level indicator is completed. Next we have discussed about the safety valve. Safety valve. Necessity to maintain safe pressure inside boiler always. Necessity to maintain safe pressure inside boiler always. This is called safety valve. Necessity to maintain safe pressure inside boiler always. Purpose may be useful to the safety valve. Working principles of safety valves. Working located above the steam space. The safety valve is located above the steam space. Valve is lifted automatically when pressure exceeds the design procedure. Valve is lifted automatically when pressure exceeds the design procedure. Escaping steam produce whistling sound which alerts. Escaping steam produce whistling sound which alerts. Whistling sounds as an alarm to the boiler operator. As an alarm to the boiler operator. The safety valve is necessity to maintain safe pressure inside boiler always. Working located above the safety valve is located above the steam space. Valve is lifted automatically when pressure exceeds the design procedure. Escaping steam produce whistling sound which alert as an alarm to the boiler operator. Different types of safety valves. Dead weight safety valves, dead weight safety valve, lever safety valve, spring loaded safety valve, high steam and low water safety valve. Lever safety valve, spring loaded safety valve, high steam and low water safety valve. Different types of safety valves is there. Dead weight safety valve. First one is dead weight safety valve. Second one is lever safety valve. Third one is spring loaded safety valve. Fourth one is high steam and low water safety valve. These are first one we discussed dead weight safety valve features. As a valve rests on top of steam pipe. As a valve rest, dead weight safety valve is a rest as a valve rest on top of steam pipe. Its conical bottom closes the steam pipe. Its conical bottom closes the steam pipe. Weight carries hangs vertically. Weight carries hangs vertically. Dead weight are placed over the weight carrier. Dead weights are placed over the weight carrier. Dead weight safety valve as shown in this figure. See this figure. Radial slot valve, steam pipe, dead weight, lift, set screw, casting, weight carrier, steam from the boiler. Steam from the boiler. Steam is passing through from the boiler. Dead weight safety valve. This is a dead weight safety valve. Dead weight safety valves working when pressure exceeds valve along with carries is lifted. Allow steam to escape through radial slot. Allow steam to escape through radial slot. Lift off valve is set by set screw. Lift off valve is set by set screw. Suitable for stationary boiler. Not suitable for high pressure boiler and mobile boilers. This is a working principles of the dead weight safety valve. When pressure exceeds, valve along with carries is lifted. Allow steam to escape through radial slots. Lift off valve is set by set screw. Suitable for stationary boiler. The dead weight safety valve is suitable for stationary boiler. Not suitable for high pressure boiler and mobile boilers. This boiler is component is as shown in this figure. See this. Radial slot valve, lift, set screw, casting, weight carrier, dead weights, steam pipe, radial slot, steam from the boiler. This is a dead weight safety valve as shown in this figure. Next is lever safety valve. Lever safety valve maintains constant safe pressure inside the boiler. Lever safety valve is a maintain constant safe pressure inside the boiler. This component is this lever safety valve as shown in this figure. Hinged strut, fulcrum, fork guide, lever, weight, valve seat, valve, casing, lever safety valve. This component is there in lever safety valve. Maintain constant safe pressure inside the boiler. This lever safety valve is used for the maintains constant safe pressure inside the boiler. Valve is loaded by lever with weights. One end of the lever is hinged to valve. Other end carries a weight. One end of the lever is hinged to valve. Other end carries a weight. Lever exert downward thrust on the valve. Lever exert downward thrust on the valve. Advantages and disadvantages of the lever safety valve. Advantages and disadvantages of the lever safety valve. When steam pressure exceeds. When steam pressure exceeds. When the steam pressure is exceeds in lever safety valve. Upward thrust of the steam raises the valve. Upward thrust of the steam is raises the valve. Allow the steam to escape. At normal pressure the valve return back. At normal pressure the valve return back. Does not require heavy weight. In lever safety valve. Suitable for stationary boiler. This is a lever safety valve. Advantages and disadvantages. When steam pressure exceeds exits, upward thrust of steam raises the valve, allow the steam to escape. At normal pressure the valve return back. Does not require heavy weight. Suitable for stationary boiler. These are suitable for stationary boiler, may be suitable in lever safety valve. Spring loaded safety valve. Next we discuss about the spring loaded safety valve. Consists two separate valves. Lever acts on two valves. Valves are closed by helical spring. When the pressure exceeds Dijon pressure. Valve lifted against the action of spring. Again close after reaching normal valve. Suitable for both mobile and stationary boiler. The spring loaded boiler is suitable for spring loaded safety valve is suitable for both mobile and stationary boiler. Consists two separate valves. Lever acts on two valves. Valves are closed by helical spring. When the pressure exceeds Dijon pressure, valve lifted against the action of spring. Again close after reaching normal valve. Suitable for both mobile and stationary boiler. This spring loaded safety valves, as shown in this figure, this component is there: pivot, lever, valve seat, spring, link, shackle, spring tightening nut, body. This component is there in spring loaded safety valve: pivot, lever, valve seat, spring, link, shackle, spring tightening nut, body. This component is there in spring loaded safety valve. High steam and low water safety valve. This is a high steam and low water safety valve. It is warms for both high pressure and low water level with a whistling sound. Low water level with a whistling sound. It releases steam when pressure exceeds and thus protect the boiler. Generally mounted on Lancashire boiler or fire tube boiler. These are high steam, low steam water safety valve. High steam, low water safety valve. It warms for both high pressure and low water level with a whistling sound. It releases steam when pressure exceeds and thus protect the boiler. Generally mounted on Lancashire boiler, fire tube boiler. Lancashire boiler or fire tube boiler. Fusible plug, as shown in this. It is a safety device. Fusible plug, it is a safety device. As shown in this figure, fusible plug. It is a safety device fitted over the crown of the furnace. It puts out the fire when water level falls. Avoids explosion of the due to overheating. It is a safety device. Fusible plug is a safety device fitted over the crown of the furnace. It puts out the fire when water level falls. Avoid explosion of the tube due to overheating. Fusible plug. It is a hollow gun metal body and is screwed to crown plate of the boiler. Gunmetal plug is screwed into body. gunmetal plug is screwed into body, closed by another gunmetal cone plug. Annual spacing between these two plugs is filled with fusible metal like lead, which has low melting point. This fusible plug component has shown in this figure. Fusible metal, gunmetal plug, gunmetal cone plug, gunmetal body, crown plate. This component is there in fusible plug. Fusible plug, it is a hollow gunmetal body and is screwed to crown plate of the boiler. Gunmetal plug is screwed into body, closed by another gunmetal cone plug. Annual spacing between these two plugs is filled with fusible metal like lead with the fusible plug working. When the plug is uncovered by water, fusible metal melts due to high temperature. Fusible metal melts due to high temperature. When the plug is uncovered by water, fusible metal melts due to high temperature. Cone plug drops out due to steam pressure. Cone plug drops out due to steam pressure. Steam rushes into the furnace and puts out the fire. Steam rushes into the furnace and puts out the fire. Thus it protects the boiler. This component is as shown in this figure. Next, we discuss about the feed check valve. Feed check valve regulate the rate of flow. Feed check valve regulate the rate of flow of feed water into the boiler. Regulate the rate of flow of feed water into the boiler. It is a non-return valve which allows the feed water to pump into the boiler. It is a non-return valve which allows the feed water to pump into the boiler. It allows to supply feed water to the boiler even the boiler is in operation, working. It allows to supply feed water to the boiler. It allows to supply feed water to the boiler even the boiler is in operation, working. Blow up cock. We discuss about the blow up cock. Fitted at the lower part of the boiler. Blow up cock is a fitted at the lower part of the boiler. Empty the boiler when it is needed. Empty the boiler when it is needed. Blow up cock. Fitted at the lowest part of the boiler. Empty the boiler when it is needed. Discharge mud, other sediments and impurities that were collected at the bottom. Next, we discuss about the steam stop valve. Mounted on the boiler above steam space. It is connected to the steam pipe. It controls the flow of steam. It controls the flow of steam from the boiler to the prime mover or any other process. Prime mover to or any other process. It is also known as junction valve. Steam stop valve, another name is junction valve is there. It is also known as junction valve. Steam stop valve. Steam stop valve. Mounted on the boiler above steam space. It is connected to steam pipe. It controls the flow of steam from the boiler to the prime mover or any other process. It is also known as junction valve. It is also known as
Safety valves. Location. Safety valves are located on the boiler drum. So it is located on the boiler drum, and where they are connected to the steam space of the boiler drum. So they are to be connected at the steam space of the boiler drum. Function. The main function of a safety valve is to control the steam pressure inside the boiler drum. So the function of the safety valve is to control the steam pressure. How? Let us see. When the steam pressure inside the boiler exceeds beyond the safe working limit of boiler pressure, it means whenever a pressure of steam inside the boiler increases beyond the safe working limit of boiler pressure, then at that time safety valves operate automatically. So safety valve operates automatically and it allows the steams to escape from the boiler. So when the safety valve operates, it allows steam to go out, steam to go away from the boiler, and it reduces the pressure of steam inside the boiler. Thus it maintains the pressure of steam inside the boiler within safe limit. Different types of safety valves. Dead weight safety valve, spring loaded safety valve. It is also known as the ram's bottom safety valve, lever loaded safety valve, combined high steam and low water safety valve. Now let us study all types of valves one by one. Dead weight safety valve. So this is the sketch for the dead weight safety valve. And if I will say you have already valve and the working of also the dead weight safety valve at your home, then or the dead weight safety valve is available at your home. Yes, the whistle or a CT in a pressure cooker, it is nothing but the one of the example of the dead weight safety valve. And what is the function of whistle here? The function of whistle in the pressure cooker is whenever the pressure of steam inside the pressure cooker increases more than the safe working limit, then automatically the whistle moves up and it allows the removal of steam from the cooker to the atmosphere. And whenever the steam pressure reduces, automatically this whistle comes back. So that is nothing but you can say the whistle is one of the example of the dead weight safety valve. Now let us see the working of this whistle in pressure cooker. So as the pressure of steam increases, automatically this valve lifts up and it allows the steam to go out. And when steam pressure reduces, the whistle takes its original position. Working. A valve is placed on the valve seat which is located on a vertical pipe. So you just see here valve is there, valve seat. And valve seat is located in a pipe which is known as the vertical pipe. And this vertical pipe is attached to the boiler drum in steam space. So this vertical pipe is connected to the boiler drum and particularly in a steam space. So the steam is entering into the vertical pipe and exerting pressure in upward direction on the valve. So the pressure of steam is acting in upward direction from the bottom of valve. Dead weights are located on both the sides of the valve. So you can see here the dead weights are located and these dead weights are connected to the top portion of the valve through pin. So these dead weights are connected to a pin and this pin is connected on the topmost position of the valve. So what will happen? So there is a pressure on valve in downward direction due to the dead weight. Under the normal condition, upward and downward direction pressures are same. And it may be possible that when the steam pressure is low, the pressure in the downward direction, that is pressure due to the weight is more and due to that the valve will not be lifted up and valve will be in its position, that is on valve seat. When pressure of steam increases, it means upward direction pressure exceeds or increases the downward direction pressure. At that time the valve lifts up and allows the steam to escape into the atmosphere. So when the pressure of steam increases, it means upward direction pressure is more than the downward direction pressure, and due to that this valve is lifted up. And as the valve is lifted up, steam escapes from the valve. After some time, as pressure of steam reaches its safe value, under the action of downward pressure, valve sits back on the original position. So when the steam pressure reduces, so under the action of or under the pressure of weight, the valve takes its original position. The next valve is the spring loaded safety valve. So this is the figure or the sketch for the spring loaded safety valve. Another name for this is the Ramsbottom safety valve. You just see, springs are provided at the center of the valve. So these are the two valves, valve 1 and this is the valve 2. These valves are connected to a lever and this lever is connected to a spring. And the tension in the spring can be adjusted using this nut. So in this type of safety valve, downward direction pressure on the valve is applied due to spring tension. So due to spring tension, downward direction pressure exerted on the valves, valve 1 and as well as valve 2. And upward direction pressure is due to steam. So when the steam pressure, that is the upward direction pressure, exceeds beyond the safe limit, both the valves lift up and steam is allowed to escape into the atmosphere. So whenever the steam pressure exceeds the safe working limit or increases beyond the safe working limit, then automatically both the valves, that is valve 1 and valve 2, are lifted up. And as the valves are lifted up, lever is also lifted up and spring is extended or spring is in tension. Now as the valves are lifted up, steam goes out. As the pressure of steam reaches to its safe limit or safe value, valves sit on original position under the action of spring tension. So as the steam pressure reduces, then what will happen? Due to the spring tension or the action of spring, the lever comes back to its original position and due to that, valve takes its original position. Next valve is the lever loaded safety valve. So here the load is applied due to lever. So the name is the lever loaded safety valve. You just see here, this is the valve and on the valve the lever is attached and at the end of the lever one weight is there. So under the action of weight, the downward pressure on the valve is there and upward pressure is due to the steam. In this type of safety valve, downward pressure on the valve is due to the weight W, which is attached on the lever. Again the same, when upward pressure, that is the pressure of steam, increases beyond the safe working limit, valve along with the lever and the weight lifts up and allows the steam to escape into the atmosphere. And as the pressure of steam reduces to its safe value, valve comes back to its original position under the weight W attached on the lever. So due to the weight W, the lever comes down and due to that valve also takes its original position. And the next valve we are going to study is combined high steam and low water safety valve. And this one is the sketch for the combined high steam and low water safety valve. So here there are two valves, valve V1 which is also known as the hemispherical valve and there is a valve V2 which is located outside the valve V1. Let us study it. This kind of valve controls the high pressure of steam and provides the safety against low water level in the boiler. It means this type of valve provides the you can say safety against low water level, and it also controls the high steam pressure, and due to that it is known as the combined valve. It consists of two valves, V1 and V2. So this is valve V1 and this is valve V2. Valve V2 is connected to the lever loaded safety valve provided at the top portion. So this is valve V2, and this valve V2 is connected to the lever loaded safety valve at the top. And in the lever loaded safety valve, main weight W1 is attached. Lever loaded safety valve remains outside the boiler drum and weight W1 is attached to the lever. Valve V1 is located inside the valve V2. So this valve V1 is located inside the valve V2. Now valve V1 is connected to the balance located inside the boiler drum through pointed knife edge. So this is valve V1. Now this valve V1 is connected to a balance. You just see here, this is a balance. And this balance is located inside the boiler drum. So this is a boiler cell. So this is the inside portion of the boiler cell, and this is the water level inside the boiler drum. And through knife edge, you just see here. At the one end of the balance, float is connected, and at the other end of the balance, counterweight W2 is attached. You just see this is a lever. So at one end, one float is connected, and another end, balance weight or the weight is connected, that is W2. Dead weight is also attached to the balance. So this is a dead weight W, that is also attached. When the steam pressure inside the boiler increases, valve V1 along with the valve V2 is lifted and steam escapes through them. So whenever the steam pressure inside the boiler drum increases, so what will happen? It will increase the pressure on valve V2. So it will lift the valve V1 and V2, and along with the valve V2, V1 also will be lifted. And as both the valves are lifted, steam can escape from the here, and it will reduce the pressure of steam. Now as the pressure of steam reduces to its safe value, valve V2 and V1 comes to its original position under the weight W1 and W. So under the weight W1 here and W, this valve V2 and V1 will take its original position. So that is how the valve V2 is operated to control the high steam pressure. Now let us see how it provides the safety against low water. As the water level reduces, the position of float inside the water also changes. So as the water level reduces, the position of the float also changes, and thus it unbalances the balance, and under the action of knife edge, valve V1 is lifted. So when the water level reduces, the float will come down, and due to that it will lift the spindle, and as it will lift the spindle, it will lift the valve V1, and the valve V1 will be opened, and due to that steam escapes into the atmosphere. Kindly ask your query.
In today class we have learned about this steam stop valve mounted on the boiler above steam space. It is connected to steam pipe. It controls the flow of steam from the boiler to the prime mover or any other process. It is also known as junction valve. Steam stop valve, it is known as junction valve. In this today class we have learned about this summary. In this period we have learned about pressure gauge, water level indicator, safety valves, fusible plug, feed check valve, blow off cock, stop valve. This topic we have discussed in today class. This summary in this period, today class period, we have learned about this topic. We discuss about this topic in today. Pressure gauge, water. Today we have learned about this topic. Pressure gauge, water level, indicator, safety valves, fusible plug, feed check valve, blow up cock, stop valve. Which water level indicator is indicates water level in the boiler. Water level indicator indicates the water level in the boiler. Blow up cock is used to which purpose? Sediments. Blow up cock is useful to the sediments removes. In this topic, today topic we have asked in exam point of view, frequently asked question. In this topic, this question may be asked in exam point of view. Explain function of pressure gauge and water level indicator. Explain function of pressure gauge and water level indicator. Write the function and types of safety valves. Write the function and types of safety valves. Write the function of fusible plug, feed check valve, blow up cock and stop valve. This question may be asked in this topic. Explain function of pressure gauge and water level indicator. Write the function and types of safety valves. Write the function of fusible plug, feed check valve, blow up cock and stop valve. This today class is over. Thanks for all of you. Thanks. Today class is completed. Are interested listening to class? Today class is over. Thanks for attending.